Howdy everyone, I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to another live ukulele jam with me, Matt Stead. As always, ready studies! As always, a little bit of buffering at the start. So what I'll do is I'll just play a little bit of a sound check. Let us know if the sound's coming through okay, guys. Just play a little tune for you and then we'll get going with our very special Carole King Tapestry evening, which I'm really excited about. Makes it sound like she's going to be making rugs, but you'll see. Okay, here we go. Welcome everyone. I hope you're all doing well where you are. I hope the weather's nice and you're all keeping fine and dandy. Let's say hello to a few people. Oh, everyone's here tonight. Okay, cool. Let's bring you in. As I say, there's always a bit of buffering at the start, but I know I've been promising this for like half a year now, but I have been given another date for my fibre installation. So hopefully everyone keep everything crossed. On April the 15th, I'm going to have my super fast broadband in, which means no more buffering, which is going to be such a relief. I cannot wait. So there'll only be one more Kanikapila before that, so fingers crossed. After that, we'll be able to go straight into the show. We might not even need my little introduction. We can go straight in and there won't be buffering. Talking of such, just a couple of dates for your diaries and a bit of an update on everything. I hope you feel better soon, Karen. I know Karen's had a few health issues, haven't you, Karen? I hope you feel better soon. Just a heads up, we've got no Kanikapila next week because next week is the Easter bank holiday. So in the UK, we're quite lucky. We get a 4-day bank holiday, which means we get to have the kids are off school and we get to do fun stuff with the family and all that. So no Kanikapila next week. We will be back the week after. And then we've got another break because the week after that I've got my broadband installation, which I'm talking about, which, as you guys will know, it'll be worth it in the long run. So bear with me. So we're not here next week, but we are back the week after. Oh, sorry, my camera's doing all sorts of funny things. Don't want to do that. There we go. Yeah, cool. So we'll be back the week after that. Sorry guys, I use this streaming software thing and it all just went a bit doolally. Sometimes it does it, sometimes there we go. Well, I wondered if that was a new place then, Dold, Rebecca. Cold Colorado. Oh, it has gone a little bit cold over here as well. Sunny Florida. Hey David, I'll be in your neck of the woods next February. I'm so excited. We're going to do a ukulele cruise from Fort Lauderdale, and I'm going to spend a few days in Florida. I really want to take the kids to see the Everglades, my youngest Bob is really excited about going to see the crocodile and everything. So yeah, we go. Ah, cool. Yeah, if there's any buffering, if you just give your screen a refresh, it normally does the job. We'll crack on in just a minute with everything. We'll take a little break halfway as well, so I can give you some public service announcements. Let us know how you're all doing, and also any questions today, ping them through in the live chat. It's really worth getting involved in the live chat. A, because it's loads of fun, but B, you can ask lots of questions. So, and there are some, we're going to start with a really nice, easy one, but there are a couple of tough chords tonight. But of course, I'll talk you through everything in detail. So no panicking, you'll be absolutely fine. All right. What we're going to actually do is we're going to start with the third song in your sheets first. Every now and then I decide to muck up the order. The reason being that if we take a look at it, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, it's by far the simplest of all the songs we're doing tonight. So it'll get us warmed up, something nice and easy, and it will help me to explain how all the chords and everything works, which will be really, really perfect. This one's in the key of C, so a really nice key to play in because there's no sharps and flats. And then remember how Kanikapila works. We have a number for every chord in a key. C being 1 in this case, then we would have D, E, F, G, A, and B, and then we're back to C again. Remember that the first, the fourth, and the fifth are major chords, so C, F, and G in this key are played as major chords. The 2, I have to be careful not to do a reed gesture. The 2, the 3, and the 6 are played as minor chords, and you'll see those. And then the 7th is something we don't use very much, that dominant chord. And every one of those chords has a personality. So you guys all know this by now, but it's just worth going through sometimes, isn't it? So for instance, we start off in this song with the 1 chord. Now, the 1 chord just makes you feel at home. It's the chord that most of the others want to resolve to. And in this case, it's C. And each of these boxes just lasts for 4 beats unless we're using a funny time signature. So you could literally just count 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll give you a neater strum pattern in a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I've got to bring this on screen. I know the answer to this, Indrani, because one will see you later and the other in a while. Very good. Okay, so 2 lots of C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we get the classic thing that happens in a lot of folk songs. We just go to the 4 chord, which is about adding a little bit of change, but not too much drama. C, D, E, F. And then remember, the end of a line or a phrase, it often goes to the 5 chord, C, D, E, F, G, because that adds tension and makes you want to do it again. And that's what we do. Second line, start with C again. To give your love. Then we go straight to the 5 chord, so sweetly. And then it's really lovely here. It turns to a G7. Which adds even more tension than a standard 5 chord. It means that it makes you kind of feel like you want to go somewhere. And that's what we do, because next up we have a really unusual chord in the key of C. Remember when I said the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th were majors, and the 2nd, and the 3rd, and the 6th are minors? Well, you'd expect this E to be an E minor, but we have an E7. The reason that works is it shares 2 of the notes from G7, so it's a nice smooth change. And also it's 5 above an A minor that follows it. We call that the 5 of the 1. So E7 makes you want to go to the A minor that follows it. And that's just about introducing a little bit of melancholy. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4. We're having, sorry, there's a debate on the comments about alligators and crocodiles. I don't actually know the real one. I only know the jokey one. So you have to let me know the difference. I don't know anatomically. I just think of alligators as being in America and crocodiles as being elsewhere, but I've probably got that horribly wrong. Anyway, back to the song. Sorry, guys. So we've got A minor for 4. Then the next measure, see those slash marks next to the A minor? That means we have 3 A minors and 1 G. All right, that G creating the tension again. Then we're back to our change chord, F. Really common chord progression, 4 to 5. And then back to C. And we're back to the start. Okay, so that's how it's going to work. Now, if you want to strum this one, you can do a really simple kind of calypso strum on this. It's often called the calypso strum, but used for a lot of folk stuff as well. And that's a quite simple down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, walk, running, and running, walk, running, and running. Most of the songs that we do tonight, apart with the exception of one, are quite slow, so we want something really nice and relaxed there. Remember, if you struggle with those 2 ups, down, down, up, up, down, up, you can put your little windmill in to help you with your timing. Down, down, up, windmill, up, down, down, up, down. Eventually you want to get rid of that windmill. Okay, there we go. Okay, fantastic. I don't think I've ever learned so much about crocodiles. Fantastic. So let's try a verse just to get us going then. I'll stay on close, Cam. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tonight you're mine completely. To give your love so sweetly. E7 now. Tonight, the light of love is in your eyes. 2, 3, G, F. Will you still love me tomorrow? Then this G, we only play it at the end of the first verse. The second verse we stay on C. All right, that's the only difference. Really, really lovely, isn't it? Thank you, Harry. You distracted me by telling me to focus. Just teasing. Okay, so that's how it's going to work. This one was actually written for the chorales by Carole King with her husband, Jerry Goffin. There's some really brilliant, fascinating facts in the back of your sheets, which are well worth reading. Karen's really gone to town in this one, partly because, like me, she's a big fan of Carole King. So some really great facts. So this was written for the chorales, but of course, the beautiful thing about Tapestry was she kind of took ownership of her own songs. So she took some of these pop songs, these Goffin and King songs that she'd written for other people, and then she slowed them down and made them her own with just piano and some lovely backing vocals and a bit of guitar. It's what I love about Tapestry, all songs from Tapestry tonight. It's got a real kind of laid back feel to it, and it's really quite lo-fi. There's not a lot of kind of production on it, which I love. It's really beautiful. It also features backing tracks. I mean, how cool is it to have your backing singers as Joni Mitchell and James Taylor? I mean, that's pretty cool, right? So they provide backing vocals, and of course James Taylor plays guitar as well. So some amazing stuff happening on this album. Let's carry on then with looking at what happens here. I'm going to give you a picking pattern in a minute. Let's just take a quick look at the bridge. Now the bridge is interesting because quite often when we start a new section, remember we tend to use either the 4 chord to create a sense of change. I always call the 4 chord the change chord. It's really important. Right? Or we go to the relative minor, and here we do use that 4 chord, the F chord. So we start off with that. Is this lasting? Then we go to the saddest chord of any key. The 3 chord, no matter what key you're in, is the saddest sounding chord in the key. And we really feel that with the introduction of this E minor. if unless you're a robot, this should tug at your heartstrings. Is this a lasting? Here it comes. Treasure. Beautiful, right? 4-5-1. Or just among us. I'm singing the wrong words. I'm being daft. Let me do that again. Tonight with words. Here we go. Here's that E minor. Unspoken. Can't get Carole King wrong. 4-5-1. You say that I'm the only one. Then we just repeat that again. Will my heart be broken? The saddest words on the saddest chord. Then we've got A minor. When the night. Then we have this lovely little 2-5-1 progression. 2 being D, played as a major this time. Meets the morning sun. Tension of 5 chord. Makes you want to go back to C at the start again, so just takes you back. So really simple, really kind of feel these chords. If you're really confident as a Kanikapilist, that's a word I made up. You could even try doing this without the chords up. See if you can do it off by heart, because there's a lot of repetition here. If you want to pick this, there's some really, really nice things that you can do. At its most simplest, and this is the one that I'm going to do, I know I use it a lot, but there is a reason I use it a lot. I love this inside out picking pattern. The reason I love it is it starts with your lowest note on a high G uke. And then they consecutively get higher. Lowest, middle, middle, upper, highest. And it means you can just use those 2 fingers to play around like that, just like a cycle, right? It's really beautiful. Now, if you're going to do that pattern, you're going to do that twice per measure. That's 1 measure. That's another measure. Okay, so twice every measure. Tonight you're mine completely. Okay, like that. If you want, you could do a Travis picking thing where you pick the outside 2 strings at the same time and then the middle 2 in reverse. Now, if you're doing that, you've got to do a little repeat like this. There's the repeat at the end. Have a little experiment. I like the inside outside though, because it's a lot easier to concentrate when you're doing vocals, because you're doing the same thing over and over basically. Barbara, with low G, what I would suggest is start and do G, C, E, A. So bottom to top, if that makes sense. Or top to bottom physically, but in terms of pitch, bottom to top. So G, C, E, A, G, C, E, A. So in effect, I know it won't sound right because I'm high G, but because then on your low G, you're going from the lowest note to the highest note. So I tend to do that on a low G. I'll do 4-3-2-1 if you like. On a high G, I like the inside out, which is both really lovely. But have a little experiment. I think I am going to finger pick this one because it sounds really, really pretty. I think it works really nice. One last thing with this one, we're going to play 2 verses. Okay, the lyrics are on your next sheet. Remember, you can still download these, links in the description, but I'll keep them up on the screen as well. We've got 2 verses in a row, and by the way, isn't that a beautiful picture of Carole that Esther's done there? Thanks, Esther. It's absolutely gorgeous, that is. Then we go to the bridge. Could be thought of as the chorus. It's where it changes. Okay, we've got the bridge. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do a single verse and a bridge as an instrumental solo. And you guys, if you want to, you could have a go at doing a little solo over the top, which is really, really lovely. Now, all of the songs that we're going to do tonight are either in the key of C, like this one, or A minor. And because they're relative major to minor, they both have the same notes, we can use the same scale to solo with. And we're going to use the A minor pentatonic, same as C major pentatonic. That's the one where we get that neat thing where we can play all the dots on our A string. So off, 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, and you can even go right up to 15 up there. You can also do all the dots in your E string, but remember, we don't play the 7th fret because it's a B, we go up to this 8th fret. Otherwise, it's all your dots again. Okay. You can also do a simple C major pentatonic by playing open C, 2nd fret D, open E, 3rd fret G, open A, 3rd fret C. And you can just noodle away whilst I play the picking pattern underneath. Let me play a little bit as an example. So it doesn't have to be anything too kind of complex, just have a little noodle. And if the worst comes to worst and you can't remember which notes, remember the trick, it's so great. Any of those dots on the A string will work. You can literally just play. You could literally just play a whole solo using those notes, which is really powerful, isn't it? So have a little experiment and really enjoy this for sure. I know, it makes you sick, doesn't it, Laura? I'm only joking. No, I love it. Esther's very clever and very talented. It's amazing. Artistic people are quite often like that, aren't they? They're good at all sorts of different types of art, which is brilliant. Okay then, let's have a go. I'll bring you back to the chord sheet because I think that's the most important one to have up. I'm going to finger pick, I think, the first couple of verses, and then I might go to a strum a little bit later on. So you can always have a look. So yeah. Oh, we've got a quick question just before we do it. So Harry was just asking if tab is written for high G. Is there a way to change it for low G? Yeah, the only thing you've got to be careful of, I think, with that, Harry, is any notes that are on the G string, you just need to play them elsewhere. So the common notes that come up on a low G, let me just move this and come into this camera. Sorry, my software's being a bit playing up today. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. It's just making everything smaller rather than going away. Okay, I froze up. On tablature, so the most common notes that come up on tab on the G string are going to be this open G, the A, and possibly a B there. So what I would do is I would just transfer those onto the E string, G here, A here, and B here. So that's the easiest way. It helps if you know a few notes, Harry, but maybe I'll do that at one of the live lessons. That could be quite useful, couldn't it? I'll go through changing tabs from high G to low G. I'm actually going to do a video on low G uke this week at some point. Okay, let's have a crack at our first song then. So remember, verse, bridge, then we're going to do another verse and a bridge instrumentally, and then finally a verse to finish off. Okay, let's just roll a C just to get us going. Let me just get my timing. I think it's about there. Here we go. Tonight you're mine completely, to give your love so sweetly. Tonight the light of love is in your eyes. Will you still love me tomorrow? Back to the top. Is this a lasting pleasure, or just a moment's treasure? Can I believe the magic magic of your size. 2, 3. Will you still love me tomorrow? Stay on a C. Here's the bridge. Tonight with words unspoken, you say that I'm the only one, but will my heart be broken when the night meets the morning sun? Take a solo if you'd like to. Instrumental verse. Keep those solos going if you're doing one, because we're going to do an instrumental bridge now. Here it comes. Final line now of that bridge, A minor. Get ready to come back in for another verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd like to know that your love is love I can be sure of. So tell me now, and I won't ask again. Will you still love me tomorrow? Repeat that last line. Will you still love me? Let's slow down. Tomorrow. Yeah, well done, everyone. Really beautiful, right? I think that's one of those Carole King songs where it could border on saccharine. I was talking to my wife about this because I've actually got a copy of Tapestry on vinyl and we listened to it at home. And Sharon's not such a big fan of it as I am. I absolutely love it as an album. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And we were having this conversation how Carole King just manages to stop things going too saccharine. Do you know what I mean by that? It could be a bit Carpenter's-esque, you know, a little bit too sugar sweet. But just because she slows down that tempo and she just keeps it to raw piano with just a bit of bass and guitar, it kind of just stays on the right side. And I think that's a perfect example. It could be really cheesy, that song, but it's not. It's just absolutely beautiful in my mind. And yeah, anyway, it's one of the things that I love about that album. So yeah. I hope they're all doing well, Esther. So hope they're all tucked up safely in bed, away from the greedy fox. Cool. Me too. Yeah, absolutely. Me too, Karen. It's just absolutely beautiful, isn't it? We're going to do a few more of these classic albums, so I'm really excited. Remember, we're away next week, but we're back the week after, and I've got another special which I'm really excited about. We're going to do Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys, and you might think, oh, Beach Boys, it's all cars and surfing, but Pet Sounds has some of the most sublime pop songs on, with some beautiful, beautiful jazz chords, and they can be really difficult, but I'm going to break them down in a way which makes them actually easy to play on ukulele. So we're going to do another classic album in 2 weeks' time. We're going to do Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. So stick around for that. I think you're going to enjoy it. Fantastic. Now we're going to change the feel ever so slightly here, and we're going to go a bit more groovy. So we're going to play one of the earlier songs off the album, one of my favourites. Here we go. Let's just go back a little bit. There we go. It's too late. It still has a kind of a melancholy to it in the chorus, but it's really got quite a groovy chorus. Now, this is a bit like Pet Sounds in a couple of weeks. You look at these chords and they look totally unachievable because they've got scary long names. Things like B flat major 7, D6, just stuff that you haven't come across before. But actually, they're relatively simple. Yeah, totally, totally. Oh, me too, Laura. Me too. Fantastic. Great. Oh yeah. Oh, it's working out perfectly. It's like I read your mind, Sheila. Cool. So yeah, as I was saying, so a lot of these chords, they look really tricky, but they're not. And I'll show you some nice, easy ways to cope with them. So this one is in the key of A minor. Oh, good question. Just before, let me do this because I forgot to tell you. This is why asking questions in the comments is good, because sometimes I forget to tell you stuff. Rebecca's just asking about that finger picking, that third line. You know how you've got that A minor for 3 G beats and a G for 4? You've got two options here, guys. You can either just very quickly change chord whilst you keep that finger picking pattern going. So the measure before. And then you've got 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. Hang on, let me just think. Yeah. Like that. So you would change to the G, 1, 2, 3, G. But that's quite tricky to do, right? So what I would tend to do if it throws you is count 1, 2, 3. Just keep picking 1, 2, 3. And then just do a single down strum. And then what comes next? F, wasn't it? So that would sound like this. Will you still love me tomorrow? 1, 2, 3. Like that. That's kind of, it stops you being thrown. It does mean you've got to come out of that picking pattern temporarily, but that should help as well. So yeah, Pet Sounds, yeah, one of my favourites. Cool. Okay, all right. So on to It's Too Late. So this one is similar to the last song in that it uses a lot of kind of familiar chords, but actually it's in the relative minor of C, which is A minor. So this one's in the key of A minor. So even though those chords look fancy pants in the verse, you're just going from the one chord in A minor, which is A, an A minor, we play it as a minor, and the 4 chord A, B, C, D. That's what most of that verse is if you look at it, and the same with the instrumental solo. Going between the 1 and the 4 chord, which again, really common in folk and pop music, really common thing to do. Now, to make it slightly more jazzy, which is something Carole King used to do. I'm always off, Fran. Don't worry. So sorry, guys. So to make it more jazzy, which is something Carole King liked to do, and she loved to use jazz chords, she's extended the chord. So rather than an A minor, we've got an A minor 7. And actually, for all intents and purposes, that's actually easier than A minor, because A minor is easy, we only need 1 finger. Well, A minor 7 is easier still, no fingers at all. It's that simple. Now, here's something really cool. I love these little bits of learning. Every minor 7 is also the same chord shape as a 6. So an A minor 7 is the same as a C6. Because of the key that we're in, and because it sets off our journey as the 1 chord, we're going to call it A minor 7 rather than C6. But this is cool because if we know open is C6, that must mean that first fret is C sharp 6 and the second fret is D6. And that gives us our next chord, right? So this one, oh, I just need to bring up my song sheet, just changes between the open chord, the open strings and the second fret, okay? So we get this. It's that simple, it just goes between A minor 7, D6. open, 1, 2, 3, 4, D6, 2, 3, 4, open, 2, 3, 4, D6. Really easy, right? Sounds fancy pants, but actually it's quite easy. Now, strumming this one, it's got more of a groove to it. So we're going to start by doing simple straight eights, twice as many strums basically. So that would be like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm just doing down strums with the nails, either 3 or just the 1 of my strumming hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, 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 down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We call that straight eights because it gives us 8 of those per measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 8 strums. All right. Oh, take care, Lisa. No worries, no worries. So you can also then add some up strums to make it slightly more groovy. Your finger is already coming up before it does a down, right? It has to. So you can see how I can just thicken it up just by touching up strums whenever I want. And that's what I do on this to get my groove on. Just thicken it in places so it feels easy. But if you're not sure, just strum down and you'll be absolutely fine as well. So that's the 1 and the 4 chords, A minor to D6, really, really easy. Then we get these 2 gorgeous, gorgeous chords. Have a good shift, Lisa. Have a good shift. I did say shift, people. There was an F in it. Okay, so G minor 7 looks like this. It's like a B flat, but without this finger on the G string. Okay, beautiful jazz chord, that one. That's the 7th chord in the key of A minor. Often that would be played as a diminished, but here we just have it as minor 7, which is really cool. And then that leads us to F major 7, which again sounds really tricky, but actually it's quite easy. You just cover the top 2 strings of the 5th fret and strum all the way. Gorgeous sounding chord, that. Okay. So G minor 7. What I do is I slide up with that 2nd finger to there, and then I just put my 3rd on top of it. Okay, let's try one of those verses so you can get a feel. Okay, I'll stay on close cam so you can copy it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stayed in bed all morning just to pass the time. There's something here that can't be no denying. One of us is changing, or maybe we just stop trying. Okay, like that. Then we'll go back, in fact, we go straight to a chorus from there, which is really lovely. Now, I can't sing like Carole King, apologies, so I just have to do my best. I love this album, so it kills me that I can't sing like her, but you guys can have a try if you can probably sing better than me. Right, then the chorus, we go to some really sophisticated sounding chords, really gorgeous, but again, not too bad. It's almost like we've gone to the key of B flat, which is up kind of a half step from A minor. Do you think A to B, but there's a flat, so half a step. And then if we're in the key of B flat, it's just another 1 and 4 progression, because B flat, 1 and 5 progression this time. B flat, C, D, E flat, F. It's a 1-5 change. So you can think of this chorus as just 1 to 5 in the key of B flat. We don't write it out that way, otherwise it just gets too complicated. But that's what's happening in effect, a real jazzy thing to do. Now it's quite simple because we haven't got to do that B flat, which is tricky with the bar. You just get this lovely B flat major 7. It looks like an E minor shape, moved up and over. And that lovely A, that's the 7th note that makes it major 7. It has this lovely sound because it's in both this chord and the F major 7 that follows it, which is really lovely. Again, I like to lead with this 2nd finger, keep it on the same string, move it up, and then I just put that finger over the top. Oh, I've gone up too far. Okay. It's too late, baby, it's too late, though we really did try to make it. Something inside has died. D minor 7, you can just do a normal D minor, but I love the sound of this high C note that turns it into a 7. Such a beautiful, beautiful chord, that one. I love it. Hide and I just can't. The reason we go to an E7 here, fake it, is the same reason we did in that last song, because E7 is 5 above an A minor. So E7 desperately wants to go back to an A or an A minor. And that's what we have at the start of the next verse. Let's try one of those choruses just to give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's too late, baby, now it's too late, though we really did try to make it. Something inside has died, and I can't hide it, I just can't fake it. Oh no. We're back to these chords, which we do as a little interlude before we do the next verse. Okay. Now, there's something cool you can do even with those A minors to D6. Now, you don't have to do this, and I'm not going to do this when we play because I think it confuses me trying to sing at the same time. But if you fancy being all fancy pants, you can put in what's often called a backdoor chord or a slide chord. It basically means before we hit this D6, we're actually going to hit the chord below it, which you can think of as a C sharp or a D flat 6. And this is what Carole does on piano. If you listen to the original on Tapestry, you'll hear this in between chord. I'll show you what I do. Okay, that's what Carole does on the piano. So she just adds that chord in between the A minor 7 and the D6. Timing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I can't sing it the same as Carole. I basically can't reach the notes, so I don't bother trying. So you'll have to imagine Carole singing in your ears to that, or you can sing the Carole parts and I'll harmonise with you. It'll be fine. It will harmonise. All right. That's the little slide chord you can put in at any point. It's got a real kind of groove to it, which makes it really nice. Now, choruses 2 and 3 are slightly different, and this is kind of an interesting thing. The second and the third choruses both go to this instrumental that follow them. And because this instrumental starts with a C chord, rather than doing an E7 at the end of the chorus, we've got a G7. And that makes sense because C, D, E, F, G. A G7 is 5 above the C major 7 that follows it. So it's that 5-to-1 thing that we've got going on again. It's super clever. In fact, if you're into your jazz theory, those last two chords of the chorus, if you think of them, they can be a 2-5-1 in the key of C, those last two into that one. If that goes, don't sweat it. But that's why we've got a G7 in the second and third chorus, because it goes to this part, which is this lovely instrumental, which is really, really beautiful. Again, you can think of it as almost like modulating to the key of C here, and we've got the 1-4 chords in the key of C. But don't sweat it too much. Let's just play them as they're written. C major 7 sounds fancy pants, really easy. Just a C chord, move back to the 2nd fret. Sounds really rich. Then we go to that F major 7 up here. B flat major 7 like we did in the chorus. Up to the F major 7 again. Tim, you're never too late. I love it. Tim's our resident pop nerd, and Tim knows that I mean that in the the nicest possible way. Tim's got an amazing musical knowledge. So I don't know if you saw, I finally got round to replying to those emails today, Tim. I really, really appreciated them. That was really lovely. Timmy sent me some great emails with some of the bands I love, Magnetic Fields and REM. So thanks, Tim. Really, really appreciate it. Oh, sorry guys, I got distracted. It's my bad. So let's go back to instrumental. C major 7, F major 7, B flat major 7, like in the chorus, finger off at A minor 7, G minor 7 down here, up to F major 7, D minor 7 down here, and then we've got that E7. Okay. And then every time when we do the instrumentals, we go back to the A minor D6 bit again. You can add that chord in if you want, or just like that, right? Which is brilliant. I think it's still affecting people today, Tim, and I think that's what's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, absolutely, Karen. It's not like character songs; they're actual songs with the relationships. I know not everyone loves her, but they're a massive influence on people like Taylor Swift with her relationship songs today. So people writing about their lives, weren't they? So it's yeah, and we think there's in Karen's fascinating fact. She talks about It's Too Late. Perhaps the most likely explanation is it's about her husband, Jerry Goffin, who she split up with. I think 3 years before before Tapestry was released. But oh, hi Anishka, hope you're keeping well. So that's the instrumental for you. And now, in that instrumental, if you want to, you can really get your groove on with a solo. Now, the brilliant thing, because we're in the key of A minor, we can use that A minor pentatonic scale, just like we did with the first song. In fact, every single song tonight, you can use this scale. So all your dots, remember on your E string, all your dots, apart from play the 8th rather than the 7th. And then you can also do off 2 CD, off 3 EG, off 3 AC. Now this one, because it's groovy, I like to add some kind of cool bends on some of the strings, on some of the notes on this, because you've got that lovely A minor to D groove. Let me play a bit for you so I can show you what I mean. Then groovy bit. I was really exaggerating then. I went a little bit Dwayne Eddie there, a little bit over the top. But it gives you an idea of this bit. I really want you to get your groove on with this solo. Now, we're going to play that A minor to D6 in each instrumental, round and round for quite a few times. Just keep following it until I count you out of it for 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so every instrumental is going to be this section here, and then we'll do A minor to D6 just again and again. And if you don't want a solo, just join in with me with those chords, basically. And that's basically it. All right, so we've got verse, chorus, then that instrumental, like I said. Then we've got verse, chorus, another instrumental with the solo attached, but I think we'll add the solo on every instrumental. That just means the A minor D bit. And then verse, chorus, and then we'll do another instrumental. And then finally, the outro is just this bit down here, really simple, C to F major 7, C major 7. Okay, just over and over. All right, just like that. So just think verse, chorus, And then instrumental, which is this bit, and then the A minor D6 bit. Verse, chorus, that bit. Verse, chorus, that bit, outro. Same thing again and again. Yeah, this KSR, this one, Karen. So I think the SR stands for the slotted headstock. I think that's what it is. So yeah, and then the this bit here as well, got the beveled armrest that you get on it. So Canale KSR. I had this for ages in the shop and no one bought it, which was crazy because it's one of my favourite ukes. So I just decided to be greedy, and when I closed the shop, I kept it for myself. Okay, all right, let's give it a go. Let's have loads of fun from the start. We'll get a groove on that A to D6 around a few times just to get us going as an interlude intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Stayed in bed all morning just to pass the time. There's something here that can't be no denying. One of us is changing, or maybe we just stop trying. Here comes our first chorus. It's too late, baby, it's too late. Though we really did try to make it. Something inside has died, and I can't hide, and I just can't make it. Oh no. Here we go. It used to be so easy living here with you. You were light and breezy, and I knew just what to do. Now you look so unhappy, and I feel like a fool. Here comes our second chorus. It's too late, baby, now it's too late. Though we really did try to make it. Something inside has died, and I can't hide, and I just cannot fake it. Instrumental. Oh no. Try solo. Now really get your groove on with this solo now. Keep that solo going. Hit those bends. Couple more. One more, and then we'll do the next verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. There'll be good times again for me and you. But just can't stay together, don't you feel it too? Still, I'm so glad for what we had and how I once loved you. Here comes the final chorus. It's too late, baby, it's too late. Though we really did try to make it. Something inside has died, and I can't hide, and I just can't fake it. Instrumental. Oh no. Keep those solos going as we hit these A minors. that going, get a groove on. Couple more. One more. Now C major 7. It's too late, baby. It's too late, but couple more. One, two, three, 4. Cool. Hope you enjoyed it. It's got a, when you get into it, it's got a real groove to it, that one, hasn't it? I just think those chords are just so utterly beautiful. Again, I was playing them to Sharon at the weekend, just on a plastic ukulele, but they still sounded lovely. I love Too Late, Baby, It's Too Late. That bit's beautiful. But my favourite is the bottom line of the chorus. Da 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 da. That chord combination is genius, man. She was such a good songwriter, and yeah, really touching. Like Tim said earlier, it's had a massive effect on him in his life, and I think that's the same for a lot of people with these kind of seminal albums like Tapestry. I'm the same with Blue by Joni Mitchell. Eventually, I'd like to do another classic album, and we'll do Blue by Joni Mitchell because that's got some beautiful songs on it, hasn't it? Right, so let's just take a quick 5 minutes break, and I'll tell you about a few things coming up. Any questions, send them in now as well. Now, I'll try my best to answer it as much as possible. No worries, Barbara. I hope it all goes well. We'll catch you later. You can come back to it later on if you'd like to. So, yeah, wasn't it, Karen? It was great. Love it. Yeah, the bends really make a difference, don't they? They really help with that kind of feeling of groove, I find. I don't often bend when I solo on uke, but certain songs like this, it just suits it perfectly, which is really cool. Okay, so no live lesson this week, just because we do them fortnightly, of course. So the week after this one, next week, don't know why I'm describing it like that, next week, we've got our next live lesson, Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. We're going to really dig into working out songs by ear. So, like we did with the Taylor Swift live lesson a few weeks back, which was probably my favourite live lesson I've ever done, because I could hear all these light bulbs going off with you guys. We're going to do the same thing, but with Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. And the reason I love this song, especially to work out by ear, is Leonard Cohen actually describes what's happening in the music. So you get that, what is it? It goes like this: the first, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift. He actually literally physically describes the chords that he's playing in that particular verse. And I think that's fascinating. So we're gonna use everything that we've learned so far. And if you didn't see the one from a couple of weeks ago, don't sweat it. I'll go through a lot of this stuff again. And all that heavy chordal stuff we did last week, which was quite hard work, I know, but it was brilliant theory. We'll apply that next week and we'll get this brilliant and beautiful song off by heart, which will be great. So Leonard Cohen, so that's going to be next Wednesday. That's 3:30, that is, which will be great. Elton John had a few classic albums, didn't he? I guess Yellow Brick Road would probably be the most obvious, wouldn't it, to do? That could be fun. That's my son's favourite artist, Elton John. He loves him. I don't know where it came from. I love him too. Oh yeah, I want to show you something cool as well. This came in the post today. I say this, I've got a box of 100 of these. So at the end of April, I'm going to do an official release for this. And this is my pop album. For years, I've been writing and recording pop songs with my band A Fine Day for Sailing, and I figured it'd be nice to kind of do a full pop album under my own name. So these are kind of, if you're into your indie pop stuff, you know, like when we do the Magnetic Fields and you know, some of the indie stuff we do, you'll probably enjoy this. Hence the neon pink and the bubblegum. It's pop-tastic. These are the songs that are on it. Some of you will know some of them, but not others. I did a video for Hero of the Home Counties a little while ago, and I'm really excited to say that this is coming out on neon pink vinyl as well. So if you're a record collector, it's going to be available on limited edition, not hand numbered, neon pink vinyl, which is super cool, right? So that's going to come out at the end of April. You'll also be able to stream it on Spotify and Apple Music, all the regular streaming platforms. I'll talk about that later. And I've also got a gig to promote it. So if any of you guys are in or around London at the start of May, 10th of May, I'm going to be playing with brilliant indie bands, the Understudies and a new international. Tickets are like crazy cheap for this as well, so it'd be lovely to see some of you there. So that would be cool. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well that's exactly what we thought, Rebecca. So originally, Celia, who designed this cover, we had a boy blowing the pop thing, so it looked like bubble gum coming out of his mouth. But I kind of wanted it to have that real high impact, so we lost the boy and we've just kept the bubble gum. So yeah, I'm going to send this to the radio stations, because I used to get my stuff played on radio, like Radio 1 and 6 Music and stuff. And I thought what I'll do is I'm going to send them each a little packet of Hubba Bubba bubble gum with it. So when the DJs get it, they'll get a nice pack of bubble gum, which they can or can't eat depending on their preference. So yeah. Betty, yeah, absolutely. D minor 7, you can play at the 5th fret. That's a great place to play D minor 7 up there. Yeah, absolutely right. So D minor 7, which we could play here, could also be played up there. Absolutely. You could also follow it with the G7 here if you wanted to, Betty, or a G9 here, which would be really beautiful. Okay, but yeah, D minor 7 up there. That's a great option. Well done, Betty. That's a really good knowledge to know that, actually. Fabulous. Okay, I think that's everything I need to tell you about. Of course, there'll be a new baritone ukulele lesson and a uke TLC one on low G coming soon. It might be that the videos are slightly delayed this week. They might go into to next week. The reason being that I've got a very I'm not going to go into details, even though I like oversharing. I've got a really important medical appointment on Thursday, so I'm going to be out Thursday. Stuff, and then Friday's Good Friday, so I'm not working Good Friday, and then we've got the bank holiday, so I've only got like a 3 and a bit day week this week and a 4-day week next week. So videos might be slightly delayed, but they are on the way. All right, you guys will be the first to know when they're available. I'm also going to start a new because baritone's going to run for quite some time, but uke TLC will come to an end within the next 2 or 3 weeks, because there's only so much you can talk about maintaining your ukes. So after that, I'm going to do a new course, probably going to be on the blues and jazz. So if you're into that, that'll just be normal tuning, tenor, soprano, concert. Keep an eye out for that, and all the subscribers will get it free. mattsteadukulele.com. Oh, which reminds me, if you're enjoying this, check out the website where I've got all my sequential courses, 9 of them now, believe it or not, and they're growing all the time. And if anyone wants to send a tip to help with the running costs of tonight, paypal.me/Ukraine. And thanks for all your support, guys. I really appreciate everyone that's sent in money. If you can't afford to help with tips, send it in money. That sounds like a telephone or something. If you can't afford to help with tips, it really helps if you just spread the word. So if anyone's asking about teaching or kind of courses, just spread the word. That's a massive help as well. So yeah. Yeah, it could be considered a bribe, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? To be fair, I don't think I've got the packet anywhere, but the people who made my CDs, they sent me a massive bag of Tang Fastics in with the CDs, so maybe they've got their own bribes, I don't know. I love that pressing plank, so I always get sweets with the CDs, which is great. Cool. All right then, guys, let's take a look at our third song and our last one of Tapestry that we'll be doing tonight. Let me bring it on here. Cool. Fabulous. Oh, that's good to know, Rebecca. I like to have that bit of variety, but I thought it'd be quite sweet to do some single artist ones because we haven't done it in a while, have we? So that's really good to know, actually. That's really nice to know. And I think the classic album thing's fun, isn't it? Because there are so many great classic albums over the years that we can do. So we'll do a few more of these. I think it'll be good fun. As I say, Pet Sounds will be the next one in 2 weeks' time. Okay, massive shout out to Karen and Esther for the sheets as well, and Indrani for checking over them as well. Really appreciate it. And talking of Esther and Karen and the sheets and everything. Look at this amazing cat that Esther drew. This I can't remember his name. So there's a famous cover, isn't there, of Tapestry, where the photographer just took a really casual picture of Carole sat on a windowsill with a cat, and it became, here we go, it became a famous one. It's named after one of the characters from Ulysses, apparently, which I didn't realise. What was its name? Where is it? Oh gosh, I'm going to pronounce this horrible. Telemachus or Telemachus? I'm not very good at Greek. Was it Greek? The kitten. Anyway, that's Carole King's cat. Okay, so we're going to look at a beautiful, beautiful song next. We're going to do "You've Got a Friend," which is gorgeous. So. Ah, good. I'm glad that excited. Ah, that's great news. You never know, Laura, when you do these things, you kind of chuck stuff out into the void and you hope people are going to enjoy it. So that's good to hear that's yeah. The only trouble is, Tim, I need you to pronounce it for me. Maybe you can write it out phonetically. I don't know. Oh, no worries, Indrani. Well, thank you anyway for your moral support. So it was all Esther and Karen this week, apparently. So thanks, Esther and Karen. I really appreciate it. There's a lot of work that goes into the sheets. So I've got this notebook. You know, I'm into my butterflies. That's a small copper if anyone's into their butterflies, and I send them the chord sheets. But this is what it looks like. That's a bit of a hint for the one we're doing in 2 weeks' time, wouldn't it be nice? And they make them look beautiful into these wonderful worksheets. So yeah, thank you guys. Okay, right, Lisa. Hey, I'll whisper it. Hi, Lisa. Okay. Right, here we go. You've got a friend. Now, this one, we're in the key of G. Okay, so this is the only one that's in a different key tonight, but we haven't got any solos for this one, so we don't have to worry about how that affects us soloing. But we're in the key of G, so G is going to be our one chord. And the intro here is kind of relatively straightforward. We've got the one chord, G. Then we go to the change chord, just like we have in almost every single song tonight. G, A, B, C. That's just normal C major. And then G again. Then we've got a measure where we've got two chords, one of each. Oh, sorry guys, I just covered over the camera with my sheet. I realised I didn't have the right sheet up. So we have this F sharp minor to a B7, and this is really important because the verses have this minor feel. They always start with an E minor, and B7 is 5 above E minor. Do you see how that's working? So many of these lines and phrases are finished with a chord that's 5 above the start of the next section. It's like a G chord that's been moved up like this. Then we switch out to this B7. Now, the nice thing about this B7 is it's an exact same shape as an E minor that's been moved up to your nose. And we're going to actually use that in a little while to change in the verses. Okay, but if I was just to do that intro, I'd have G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. Quite a tricky change that, so you might have to practice that round a few times. Then the verse does something really interesting. James Hill does an interesting workshop on these two chords. He calls them chord twins because they're the same shape right next to each other. And this B7 being 5 above this E minor, they work beautifully together. And basically the verse just plays E minor and B7 in various kind of, trying to think of the word, not volumes, in kind of various times. First of all, we got 4 beats of each. 4 beats. Then we've got 2 beats of each. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then believe it or not, by the final measure of that line, 1 beat each. 1, 1, 1, 2. All right, let me play that line. You'll see what I mean. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. All right, so it's just E minor and B7. Neat, huh? Now, there's a little trick if you find that an awkward change. Just scout ahead with your index finger like that, and that will allow you to change between those chords without taking all your fingers off. I do that, but it's very quick like that. So you might not see it, but I do often do that, okay? Let's try that together, that line. 1, 2, 3, 4, E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. Now, if you find that too tricky, you could just leave out that last measure. Just keep strumming E minor, and it'll be absolutely fine without that B7 in it. Just creates a lovely change if you can do it. Then we've got this 2-5-1 combination, one of the most common chord combinations in all of jazz music. The second chord, which wants to go to the 5 chord, which wants to go to the 1 chord, each chord resolving into the next. A minor 7, all open. D7 you can even do barring the whole of the 2nd fret and then this finger on the 3rd fret. Or if you want, you could just do a Hawaiian D7 like that. Both perfectly valid. Then we go to G. Okay, let's try one of those verses. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're down and troubled and you need some loving care and nothing is going right. Whoops, sorry guys. I was looking at my sheet and not what I was doing. Next section, we go to a pre-chorus. Now remember, when we go to a new section after a verse, we tend to use either the 4 chord or the relative minor. The relative minor in any key is the 6 chords. And that's what we've got here. G. No, we're going to the 7th here. Not going to the relative minor. G, A, B, C, D, E, F. We're going to the 7th chord for a new section. That's actually quite unusual. You'd expect to go to the relative minor there, which is why I said it. But we don't. We go to the 7th chord. But it's a beautiful chord because it's 5 above, or a sharp 5 above this B7 that follows it. And then that leads us into another one of these E minor B7 sections. I'll show you what I mean. So that's your F sharp minor shape. B7. And then we do this again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. All right, just like we did in the verse. Next bit has fancy pants chords, but they're actually relatively easy. A minor 7. B minor 7, it's the same as that D6 we were doing earlier. Remember, this can be A minor 7 and C6. Well, this can be B minor 7 and D6. And then we go to a D7. This one I like to play a Hawaiian style because I can add these sus notes. Sus notes just means adding the 4th or the 2nd note of a chord instead of the 3. So if you would do this D7, you can add this finger down here, which is really sweet. Or you can take this one away for sus2. You can just have a little experiment. I'll show you what I mean. I'll go from the start of that line. I quite often just like to add a little, kind of just for a bit of salt and pepper, basically. All right, let's try a pre-chorus from that F sharp minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. Then we go to the beautiful chorus. You expect the 1 chord because it's the strongest chord. You just call out my... And then we change it to a major 7 of the same chord. Really, really sophisticated thing to do. Only 1 note difference. The only difference between a G and a G major 7 is the G major 7 has this F sharp note in it instead of this G. And you get this lovely, you just call out my name, just flatten, see? And you know, wherever I am, I'll come running. Then we get the tension of the 5 chord, this D7, to see you again. Really common chord step. 3rd line, similar thing. Winter, spring, summer or fall. All you've got to do is... Now this bit's a little bit tricky because we've got this E minor to G, 2 measures of each. Call. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, fantastic. Then finally we've got this next line. Looks like super complicated. It's a bit like when we do pet sounds. You might think, oh my gosh, that's like crazy hard. I can't do that. Yes, you can. It's not half as hard as it looks, all right? We just go C, B minor 7, just bar that 2nd fret, off A minor 7, D7, either Hawaiian or this one, okay? And then we're back to G, okay? So it's not too bad. You've got a friend. Now the first chorus, we also have this G, C, and then 2 more C's. See that one beat of each, F sharp minor, B7. And of course, that's to get us back in that minor key or that minor feel for the E minor that happens in the verses. All right, so the whole of that bottom line of the chorus will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, B minor 7, A minor 7, D7, G, C, C, bam, bam. You can leave those last 2 out if you really struggle with them, and then come back in with another verse. All right, quite tricky this. It's got some difficult bits in it, but a lovely, lovely song to work towards. It's not really a Kanikapila song per se, because it's quite hard to play off by heart and it's quite tricky to follow live, but it's so beautiful. I thought it would be lovely to include, so I hope you don't mind, guys. And if you don't get it tonight, just kind of listen to it, play where you can, and come back to it because it's well worth sticking with. Really nice one to get. Okay, so that gives you your verses, your pre-choruses and your choruses. Now we've got one more new bit, which is the bridge, which has some really unusual chords in it. I'm not going to go into the chord theory behind this one because I think we'd be here for the next 3 hours because it's quite unusual. Other than this really classic 2-5-1 at the end, A7, D7, and then going back to G, the chords are quite unusual. So we've got F, they're actually not bad to play, an F major chord, C chord, G, flatten to G major 7, C, F7, remember that's just an F, you've only got to add one more note to it to make it F7, E minor, A7, just the one finger up here, and then that D7, because it makes you want to go back to the G for the next section. Alright, that only happens once, and just think, even though the chords are relatively tricky, it's you've got one chord per measure, so you've got plenty of time to change and think about it. Just going to tune up, guys. I think my C string's gone. Yeah, it's that C string. So that bridge comes after the second chorus. Okay, so think of it as verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus. It just means this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit. And on the second and third choruses, don't play the bit in grey, jump straight to the next section. Then we finish with a chorus, and then out of that chorus, we just go straight into this outro, G and C. All right, yeah, I think you'll get an idea as we go. As I say, if you struggle, just kind of come in where you can, and you can always work on this one for later. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. Let's give it a go from the top, and then after this, we're going to finish off with a much easier song you'd be glad to know. We're going to do Now and Then by the Beatles at People's Choice. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm just going to strum straight 8s. Just down strums. Just keep it simple on this one. All right, let's give it a go. Intro to start with, and then verse, pre-chorus, chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, C, G, F sharp minor, B7. When you're down and troubled, and you need some loving care, and nothing is going right. Here's our pre-chorus. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. Is that chorus? You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer and fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. If the sky above you grows dark, sorry guys, grows dark and full of clouds, second bit in the verse, and that old north wind begins to blow. Here comes your pre-chorus. Keep your head together and call my name out loud, and soon you'll hear me knocking at your door. It's our chorus. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll winter, spring, summer or fall. All you've gotta do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. Now ain't it good to know that you've got a friend, when people can be so cold. They'll hurt you and desert you, and take your soul if you let them, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You've got a friend, outro. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. Ain't it good to know you've got a friend? You've got a friend. Ain't it good? Ain't it good to know you've got a friend? You've got a friend. You've got a friend. Yeah. And we're all friends. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Love these Monday evening nights with you guys. So, and I hope you do as well. So that one goes out from me to you guys, even though I can't sing it because it's too low a register. Hopefully you get the sentiment. I'm hoping, I could have got this horribly wrong, but I'm hoping the keys will fit a lot of the ladies that follow this. Some of the gents as well will be able to sing this, but I find I can't sing that octave up where Carole sings, so I've dropped an octave. That's why I sound a bit Barry White. But hopefully for some of you ladies, you should be able to sing that in that higher octave, which will suit your voices better. So I've kept it that way rather than changing the chords around to suit me. So yeah. Sus chords, Esther. So really, you could put them anywhere. I tend to put them on that D7 at the end of the pre-chorus. So I'll just kind of hit that Hawaiian D7. And honestly, you could add D7 sus2 by taking this finger away. You could hit D sus4 by adding this one. Or you could do what I quite often do and kind of combine them together. So when I do that pre-chorus line, I'll kind of do something like this. It's like a little bit of salt and pepper on the top. You can do it wherever a chord rests. You could do it on the C in the chorus. So any sus4 chord, you just add the fourth note on top of the third. So a C sus4, you turn this E string into an F. So you could do it in the chorus. Summer and fall. All you gotta do is go. You could add one in there. So there's all sorts of places. D7 in the chorus, you could do it. See you again. Basically any place, I would say any place a chord rests for 2 measure for those, Esther. Just have loads of fun. So, oh good, I hope so. Fantastic, yeah. And I hope that you guys, I hope when we do this, you're probably concentrating too hard, but I hope that some of you are singing along with me. That's what I like to think anyway. So do if you can. So yeah. There we go. Yeah, you're all my friends. Love it. Exactly. Exactly. I can't wait. Hopefully this year I get to meet some of you. I'm so excited. I'll see some of you at the festival, Ukulele Festival of Great Britain that I'm doing this summer in the end of July, or perhaps some of you even at the retreat. You'll even get to come on a walk in the forest with me in the retreat, which would be really, really sweet. And if you want, you can even stay up till 3 in the morning drinking red wine with me, which is what I tend to do every night of the retreat. So yeah, join me, it'll be great fun. And of course I'll see some of you American peeps, hopefully on the cruise as well, which would be fantastic, which I'm really excited about that. So yeah, I've kind of upped it a little bit, Kevin. I know some of the pieces are quite tricky, but they've got some beautiful chords, haven't they? And I'm doing the same thing with the Beach Boys. Although the chords are really kind of unusual, some of them are really easy to play. There's this bit in the Beach Boys of Caroline No that people get really scared of because it uses these 6 chords, but actually it just goes like this. Such rich sounding chords, but it's really easy to do. There's just one finger, so a lot of this stuff sounds more difficult than it is. So yeah. Cool. Oh, good. That's great. No, fantastic. Yeah, it goes on a bit though, because again, to stop that kind of saccharine thing, when Carole King produced these for Tapestry, she took some of the songs that she recorded for other people, and she really slowed down the feel to make it more mellow. And I think again, it stops it going that kind of saccharine, which is really makes a difference. All right. Let's have a look at one last song to finish off then. So, oh, and don't forget, Esther reminded me, I think it was Esther, it might have been Karen in the comments. If you can like the YouTube video, not just like the comments and stuff, if you can like the whole video, it really helps with the algorithms to be picked up. And like I say, if you're not able to send any tips or anything, it really, there's so many ways you can help out me and my channel, even if it's not financially, and that's just spreading the word. So anytime anyone's on Facebook going, oh, I don't know how to do this, just go on there and say, I know a man who does. That does me a massive favour because it brings people to my page, my website and everything. So spreading the word's a massive, massive help to me. Thanks. And of course, loads of you guys are already joined as members. But if you join at the website, you get all of the courses. There's 60 arrangements up there that you can download for free now as well. Lots of resources. And I'm going to add to those all the time. There's all the courses and there's a ukulele forum. You can send me video submissions now, which is great. So all this sort of good stuff, and you get the worksheets at no extra cost for the Wednesday sessions as well. So yeah. Oh yeah, thanks Harry. If anyone's interested in coming on the cruise, we're still looking for a male to share with a male and a female to share with a female. So if anyone wants to come on the cruise but they're worried about having to pay for a cabin all by themselves, if you get in touch with Donna and Harry, their details are on here, but you'll also find this on my Facebook page and various mail outs. So get in touch with Donna and Harry, and you can share with one of the people on the cruises. And I can vouch for both of them being absolutely lovely people. So you won't have any trouble, and you'll have loads of fun if you share with them. So anyone looking for a cabin but you don't want to pay out for a whole one on your own, or you don't have a partner or a friend to go along with, you can make a new friend. So we're looking for a female with a female and a male with a male. Okay, fantastic. Let's have a look. Sorry, the reason I'm laughing is I just had these two come in. Oh, come on, guys, you can do it. Look, if I can sing these songs, you can sing them. Right. Okay, on to our last song then. So we're gonna do the People's Choice. So every week on Facebook, Karen really kindly for me runs a poll where we ask people to choose some songs out of the vaults, basically, and we'll have 4 or 5 songs that you can choose from, and you guys choose which one we do as the last song every week. And it doesn't have to be anything to do with the theme, it can be any kind of song you want. And this week you chose one of my favourites. I actually find this song really haunting in a beautiful way. It's the new the new old Beatles song, which of course was written by John Lennon as a demo, and then Paul McCartney, when they started doing the Free as a Bird sessions, he brought this to Ringo, and George, who was still alive back then and does play on this record before he passed away, and they reworked it. And then wonders of modern technology meant that they could clean up that original track of John Lennon's, and they could add all their parts to it. So it's really, really beautiful. A lot of people get confused because a lot of people think it's an AI track. So there's lots of artificial stuff on, but it's not. All the AI did is it just cleaned up the original track. So it isolated John's vocals, and then the original Beatles recorded the backing for the rest of it. And they also, Paul McCartney wrote this bridge section, which is in a different key. It changes to the key of G. Really beautiful song anyway. Another one in A minor. We've had a lot of that, and that is a coincidence. I didn't choose this one. You guys chose this one, but we're in A minor again. And this one goes between the 1 and the 7th chord here, which is really quite unusual for the intro and the verse. So G6 that follows it. We've had lots of minor 7ths to 6 chords today, haven't they? 6 chords is just another form of major chord. A G6 is just a G chord, but with an E rather than this G, okay? So we're going to go from A minor here, and then in the intro and the first line of the verse, just drop that finger down, use your index, and we just change between the two like this. Okay, and that gives you I know it's true. This one's better for me to sing, nice. It's all because of you. And then the next line on the verse, we have that beautiful F major 7 chord that we had in the Carole King song. It's really, really beautiful. It's a 6th chord in this case. Just take that A minor up to the 5th fret and drop in a finger underneath it. Gorgeous chord. This is probably my favourite chord on ukulele. Really wistful sounding. Then it goes to the 5 chord, which we've seen pairs up with A minor because it's 5 above it. Creates the tension at the end of the line. Then we've got this gorgeous a sus chord. That just means it's like an A chord, which would normally look like this. But the 3rd note in A, which is C sharp, don't sweat the theory, but this note has been moved up so it becomes the 4th note, D. And that's how we've ended up with that shape. That's A, and that's A sus 4. But because we've come from an E7, the easiest thing is just to push that finger over there. And then take this one away for the A minor. Okay, I'll play one of those verses along. You copy in with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it's true. It's all because of you. And if I make it through, it's all because of you. Okay. Then we have another verse of that, exactly the same. Then the bridge, we've called it a bridge because it has a totally different feel. Normally a chorus is kind of complementary to an intro. This feels quite arresting, quite different. Now this one's in the key of G basically, and you could argue that the original song's in the key of G, that it's resting on that G6, but I think of it as E minor. I think it has to be E minor because of the function of that E7th chord. Anyway, let's not sweat the theory because I'll go down a rabbit hole. But this bridge is in G, so we have G chord, the 1 chord, now, and then I miss you. Now here Paul McCartney's been really clever, right? Because Paul wrote this bit. Remember when we did the very first song that I said the 3 chord in any key is the saddest chord? 1, 2, 3. Well, the 3 chord in the key of G is B minor, G, A, B minor. And look at the lyrics that happen there. Now, and then I miss you. Paul has got to be talking to John there, right? He's got to be. And that's so sad. And it makes sense that he uses that 3 chord there, the saddest chord, B minor. Now, it's an awkward one, this. You just bar the 2nd fret, reach over with that ring finger to the 4th fret. Sorry, yeah, that's right, 2nd fret. Reach over to the 4th fret of the G string. Okay, it's really tricky. If you want, you could just play the bottom 3, like a G major 7 if you really struggle, but if you can. Okay. Then we go to another melancholic chord, another minor chord, but not quite so sad, the E minor. Now you'd think it would be sad like the E minor in the key of C, but because this functions as the 6th chord, it's not quite as heavy. And it almost lifts it, doesn't it? Now and then we have a 2-5, really common in jazz. We had that in the last song. Want you to be there for me. Notice that I use my 1st finger. Always to return to me, which allows me to put my fingers down there really quite comfortably. Okay, that's the bridge each time. You can think of it as the chorus if you like. The only other bit here we've got the solo, which goes to another minor chord, the 4 minor chord now. D minor in the key of A, back in A minor now, okay? Really simple this, just D minor. Da, 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 da. Let me do it again. Got that lovely George simple solo. Wow. Da, 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 da. Ratchet up the tension with an E minor. Use this one to change. Da, 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 da. Then we go from a D major. Da, melancholy of the minor. Da, 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 da. All right, and that's what we play behind the solo. Now, if you want, you can do a little bit of soloing on this using the same ones we used earlier. A minor pentatonic scale, often 3 on the A string, then all your dots. Okay, hopefully these are settling in by now, a lot of these. On the E string, often 3, all your dots, but remember to play the 8th, not the 7th fret. Okay, you can also do off 2 on the C string, off 3 on the E string, off 3 on the A string. That's C, D, E, G, A, C. That's your C major pentatonic scale. This one is your A minor. All the same notes, just in a different order. So I won't do too long a one, but you can have a little kind of cheeky bend just for fun. Now, if you want to kind of replicate what they're doing on the record, I think it's like an A. That's it. So if you want to replicate roughly what George does, but he has like a slide on his, it's an A note. Here we go. That's the 5th fret. C, B, G, 8, 7, 3. Something like that. But of course, then you can also, if you prefer, you can mix it up with your own one, and that's a point. You want to get a bit of improv going here, which is nice. Okay, right. Oh yeah, absolutely. The documentary is lovely. It's available on YouTube. I was on holiday when this song came up, and it really emotionally affected me. I just thought it was really. I find it really haunting. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, let's have a go then. We've got this. All right. In terms of pattern, we've got that intro. Then we go verse, verse. So 2 verses. Bridge, verse, bridge. solo, which is the D minor bit, and then just a verse to finish. A lot more simple, this one. Let's give it a go. All right. Thank you, absolutely everyone that's taken part tonight again. Thanks for all your friendship and your comments and all your support. It really, really means the world to me. Remember, I'll be away next week because it's bank holiday, so I'm off with the kiddywinks at the seaside if the weather stays nice. And we'll be back the week after, where we're going to have a Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys special. Some beautiful songs. Okay, thanks everyone. Let's do our last song all together. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. G6, A minor, G6. Here we go. I know it's true. It's all because of you. And if I make it through, it's all because of you. Another verse. And now and then, if we must start again, well, we will know for sure that I will love you. Is our bridge. Now and then, I miss you. Oh, now and then, I want you to be there for me, always to return to me. Another verse. I know it's true. It's all because of you. And if you go away, I know you'll never stay. Another bridge. Now and then, I miss you. Oh, now and then, I want you to be there for me, always to be there for me. Solo. Try hitting those notes in the pentatonic, or strum with me. D chord. D minor. Final verse. I know it's true. It's all because of you. And if I make it through, it's all because of you. Fantastic, everyone. Lovely jubbly. Isn't that a gorgeous song? I think I said it after every song, but I guess I like the songs we choose. Happy Easter, guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Easter. Hope the Easter Bunny brings you lots and lots of chocolate. And yeah, chocolate and red wine. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Could you use half of the Easter egg to drink the wine from? No, 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 no. That's going too far. Um, my kids still absolutely love all this stuff. So Bobby still still believes in the Easter Bunny and everything. So on Easter Sunday, I still have to wake up early, even though it's a Sunday, and kind of go and leave chocolate eggs all around the place. So I like to hide them under cushions and on top of cupboards and in drawers and things like that. And then the kids wake up and go, "Wah!" Go mad and run around looking for them. So that's my Easter. And then dealing with the kids all day, just full of chocolate. We basically says 3 days a year, 3 days in a year where the kids are allowed to just eat chocolate for breakfast, and it's birthdays, Christmas, and Easter. So yeah, but I enjoy getting an egg as well. Me and Shaz still get each other an egg as well, so I love it. It's all good fun, isn't it? I'll stick around for a bit now, guys, just in case there's any questions or anything. Let me know if any questions at all. Thanks so much for taking part, everyone. I really, really appreciate it. I don't know why these comments have gone really small, but yeah, it must be something to do with my streaming software. But yeah, cool, fantastic. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Thanks, guys. I remember I'll be back in 2 weeks' time, so we'll be back to it 2 weeks' time after that. I am also going to be off 2 weeks after that, so it's going to be fortnightly for the next month, basically. As I say, first off, because it's Easter this weekend, and we've got the bank holiday Monday. I will be back the week after that where we'll be doing the Pet Sound special. But the week after that is when, hopefully, like I say, I'll be getting my super fast broadband put in, which will be goodbye buffering, and everything should be a lot easier. So I'm really excited about that. It was meant to happen last month, but for some reason the engineer got delayed and it didn't happen. But fingers crossed, it'll be on the 15th. So only one more Kanikapila with buffering, and then we should be like super solid, which would be fantastic. But if you're not sure, if you just check the Facebook page, Karen really helpfully does a little list of all the things that are happening this month. So with my live lessons and the Kanikapila, so you can check it out there. But also check on the website as well. I'll always list when the next Kanikapila is as well, so you can follow that. Just double check there where I am. But 2 weeks' time now, we'll have the Beach Boys one. And I'm so excited. We're gonna have some beautiful Beach Boys songs as well. So yeah, they do. They're absolutely, Fran. They lay big chocolate eggs. Oh, so can I put it up twice? Cool. And the bunnies over here as well, they have very good eyesight. I often say to my kids that they've got to eat their carrots. And they always ask why. And I say, well, bunnies eat carrots, right? And they always go, yeah. And I always say, well, have you ever seen a rabbit wearing glasses? No. So eat your carrots. It's good for them. So brilliant. All right, guys, I'm rambling about carrots and Easter now, so I think it's probably time I signed off. Thank you so much for all your support. Really, really appreciate it, everyone. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, and perhaps some of you next week as well for the live lesson, where we'll be doing Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen, which I cannot wait. It's going to be absolutely fantastic fun. Brilliant. Oh, I've got a last question. You got in just in time. Let me just check. That last on the bridge, is the second line played twice? No, it is once. It could have been the buffering, or you got off track or something. So it is once, yeah. So G minor, B minor, E minor, A minor, D, just the once. Yeah. All right. Well, take care, everyone. Much love. Happy Eukin, and we will catch up after Easter. Happy Easter, everyone.